Good afternoon. Welcome to the Caddo Parish Commission regular meeting agenda. We will now be called to order and have our roll call. Mr. Clerk.
Dominic. Present. Lyndon Johnson. Jackson. Lynn. Bowman.
Present.
Cawthorn. Gary
Present.
Watts.
Present.
Middleton, here. Atkins. Chavez.
Here, sir.
Smith. Lewis Johnson.
Present.
We have a quorum, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. We'll have our invocation by Commissioner Lynn Cawthorn, and we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner John Atkins. Please stand and silence your cell phones. Thank you.
I'm just a little embarrassed praying in front of Pastor Blake, but I'll do the best I can. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to this evening with bowed down and humble hearts.
Yes,
we thank you for the individuals who have assembled here today as we conduct the business of this parish. Dear Heavenly Father, we pray for a supernatural spirit in this place, dear Heavenly Father, that permeates this entire parish. And as we conduct the business, it will be done in decency and in order. We pray for every citizen of Caddo Parish, individually and collectively. In Christ Jesus' name, we offer this petition. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in facing the flag and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. First responders and military are welcome to salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Cawthorn, and thank you for allowing Pastor to hear your prayer. You did just well. Thank you so much, Commissioner Atkins, as well. Mr. Clerk, next item, please.
Agenda additions. I have none.
I have none either. Next item.
Next we move to citizen comments.
Okay. I have no cards. Do you have any?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay. Citizens who wish to address the commission on any issue other than zoning, please fill out a comment card located in the chamber foyer and return to the president or the clerk of the commission. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes. Citizens who wish to address the commission on matters relative to public hearings, items listed on the agenda only, will be limited to a cumulative total of 15 minutes each for or against an issue. Those who wish to speak or make a presentation are asked to select their speakers and address the points they wish considered with this limitation in mind. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
We have no visitors. We move to special resolution. Special resolution of recognition to the following Shreveport Caddo Parish civil rights activists.
Move to adopt this resolution.
Second. It's been moved, and that passes by acclamation. Please stand. It is such a privilege to read this resolution of recognition to these honored, distinguished guests on this afternoon. And it reads, whereas the civil rights movement was a struggle for social justice that took place mainly during the 1950s and 1960s for blacks to gain equal rights under the law in the United States. The Civil War had officially abolished slavery, but it didn't end discrimination against blacks. They continued to endure the devastating effects of racism, especially in the South. By the mid-20th century, African Americans had more than enough of prejudice and violence against them. They, along with many whites, mobilized and began an unprecedented fight for equality that spanned 2 decades. And whereas all Americans had gained the right to vote, many southern states made it difficult for blacks. They often required them to take voter literacy tests that were confusing, misleading, and nearly impossible to pass. Wanting to show a commitment to the civil rights movement and minimize racial tensions in the South, President Dwight Eisenhower pressured Congress to consider new civil rights legislation. And whereas on September 9, 1957,
President Eisenhower signed the Civil Rights Act of 1957 into law, the first major civil rights legislation since Reconstruction. It allowed federal prosecution of anyone who tried to prevent someone from voting. It also created a commission to investigate voter fraud. And whereas, on July 2nd, 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 into law, preventing employment discrimination due to race, color, sex, religion, or national origin. Title VII of the Act establishes the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission to help prevent workplace discrimination. And whereas, on August 6, 1965, President Johnson also signed the Voting Rights Act of 1965 to prevent the use of literacy tests as a voter requirement. It also allowed federal examiners to review voter qualifications and federal observers to monitor polling places. And whereas, Shreveport had its fair share of foot soldiers for justice during the civil rights movement. These individuals lifted the hopes of our community with the powers of their voices and actions. They fought not merely for the absence of oppression, but for the presence of opportunity. Because they kept moving forward with unwavering resistance, they helped change laws in our current form of local government. As change rippled across the city and parish, building on the progress realized on buses, in schools, in the courtrooms, at lunch counters, retail stores, and public buildings through protests, marches, and boycotts. Dr. King once said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of convenience and comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." One didn't have to go to Memphis, Tennessee, Selma, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, Little Rock, Arkansas, or Montgomery, Alabama, to experience the ills of the South. And whereas it was in their hearts to secure economic opportunity, access to education, and equal treatment under the law for all, the arc of the moral universe may bend toward justice, but it only bends because of the strength and sacrifice of those who reject complacency and drive us forward. Only by drawing on the lessons of our past can we ensure the flame of justice continues to shine, by standing up for what we know to be right and speaking uncomfortable truths. We can align our reality closer with the ideal enshrined in our founding documents that all people are created equal. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission in legal and regular session that it does hereby extend its most sincere and heartfelt expressions of congratulations and appreciation to these local civil rights activists for their strength and sacrifice to our community. Dr. Harry Blake, Reverend C.C. McLean, Dr. Lewis Pendleton, Maxine Sarpy, Dr. C.O. Simpkins, Bernice Smith, Jesse Stone Jr., and Mamie Love Wallace. Attest, Stormy Gage Watts, President, Mario Chavez, Vice President, District 2 Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson.
You know how they said it.
At this time, we'll ask the honorees to come up, or their family members. Ms. Simpkins, that's a family member from Ms. Wallace family, and C.C. McLean. Okay. So today, wanted to do this resolution. It has multiple meanings. One of the meanings is behind, normally we go through February, Black History Month, and if you go into the school systems, you hear about national civil rights leaders, but in Shreveport and Caddo Parish, we had our own civil rights leaders. And I think we have a generation now that they don't really know how these people have impacted not only their lives, but our lives and everybody's lives that's come behind them. And so I wanted to make sure that they got this now while they're here. And if they're not here, that somebody in their family could be here to represent them. Also, on this day, back in 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated.
Correct.
So it's 51 years later. but at the same time, I wanted to make sure that on this day, April the 4th, that we do this. So not only is a resolution will be given, and we will have to give you some, make some additional copies because we only made one. This one will go into a museum in Shreveport, Caddo Parish. But we're gonna also give you a key to the parish, which is very special. There really hasn't been too many keys presented since I've been down here, and I've been down here at least, I think, 11 years. So 8 years, 9 years. So I wanted to make sure that you know how much we feel about what you have done for us. Because if it wasn't for you or your family member, we would not be here right now, standing here representing other people in Caddo Parish and trying to do better from what you started. So, Dr. Harry Blake. The key to the parish.
You joined, huh?
Mrs. Simpson, your key to the parish. A descendant of Miss Mamie Love Wallace, and all that she did with protesting and marches, organizing things. We appreciate you and let your mom know that she had something to show. Okay. These are two Reverend C.C. McLean's children. They're here, and we appreciate what your father did for civil rights. The other recipients, some of them are under the weather, and they will be coming later on. We won't reread the resolution, but we will still give them the key to the parish. And then there's one that's out of town. So we'll hold them till they'll be able to come back. We'll set another date up, and we'll do them the same way. Thank you. Did you get a picture for you? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's see.
Reverend Blake was hidden a lot of times.
That's the story.
Before you guys sit down, some commissioners would like to say some stuff.
Y'all stand? They might want to ask you some questions.
Parliamentarian Bowman.
All right, thank you, Vice President. I won't keep you all on. I just want to say to all of you and the families, thank you. I myself, along with a lot of others, truly do stand on the shoulders and lean on your wisdom and what you all have set forward. Just to even be here, you know, for any of us, really, it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for the strives and the triumphs that you went over, and what was even some would consider tragic, but by the grace of God and your fortitude and just keeping on making a way even when it wasn't popular. For that, I just want to tell you I'm grateful, and God bless you, and wouldn't be here without you. Thank you. Yes, sir. Pastor McLean.
Madam President, thank you for this time. Thank you for the honor. I do two things. To acknowledge those persons from the Civil Rights Coalition that are here.
Oh, yes.
To support. Stand up. And we are striving to turn Old Galilee into a civil rights museum for prosperity and know the struggles. But on a professional, personal note, I'd like to present each of you with a book I wrote on civil rights in Shreveport.
Oh,
So,
wow.
you wanna,
All right. You can give them right there to Ms. Michelle Nations, and she'll make sure that we get them. Thank you so much.
that's for the commissioners. You get your copies, let me know. And I also give you a bookmark from Little Union on our civil rights history. So you can pass those out. Thank you so much. This means a lot, and I thank God I've lived to see what I've seen. I lived to see a black president, 3 black mayors, Saints won a Super Bowl, praying again.
Yay!
You on a roll.
You messed up with the president.
Having lived what I've lived through it as a bar of 10, I thank God, and God bless you all, and thank you so much.
Thank you. We have some other commissioners who would like to speak. We have Commissioner Lynn Carthorne.
All right. Thank you, Madam President. I want to first chime in and say that not only is all politics local, but all activism is local. And so we want to thank you for what you guys have done locally here in the city of Shreveport, so that our youth get a chance to understand that we don't have to go other places to celebrate activists. We can celebrate our homegrown leaders right here in the city of Shreveport. I'm glad to see Mrs. Simpkins in the audience. The last time we had a chance to engage, she gave me an interesting tidbit of history. I don't know how many of you people are familiar with Fred Shuttlesworth. He was a stalwart activist in Alabama, and she told me that her husband, he married she and her husband. So that was a tidbit of information. And it's always good to see people who are living legacies, so you can retain that information and pass it on. God bless you
Absolutely.
all. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Carthorne. Commissioner Mike Middleton.
Thank you for being here. I think there's only 2 of us can really remember the date that Dr. Martin Luther King was killed. I can tell you where I was is at 902 Pier Avenue at the corner of Milo and Pier Avenue, working at a gas station. Faith's Esso and then became Exxon. I appreciate y'all being here today. But when you look at this proclamation, I want you to realize not all the commissioners' names are there, maybe because there was a pretty wordy type proclamation. But we're about to vote for that. That means everyone up here is going to vote for yes. So we're all in the same boat with you. I just want you to understand that, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Middleton. Commissioner Doug Dominic.
Yeah, I wanted to say thank y'all for coming out here, and I know it's Todd or Stormy, one of y'all wrote that resolution. It was a very LBG. LB, you did it?
I
Yes.
can't take all that credit.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I thought you did a really, really good job of writing it, give us a history, very well done. I was thinking maybe it was in font 3 or 4 because it really, I don't know how you got it all on that one page. But Stormy, as always, you did a very good job of reading it. So
Thank you, Doug.
we thank y'all for all of y'all done, and thank you for coming in today.
Yes.
Bless you.
Thank you, Commissioner Dominic. And I'll just close by saying, and if any one of you would like to have any comments, you're more than welcome to say anything that you would like to say at this time. But I just want to simply say it has been such a blessing to be able to honor you as living legacies before us on today. And I hope that in some way that my life will mirror the example that you have left for us. God bless you and thank you for everything you've done.
I guess since I'm the senior citizen, I will say this. I recall that the night that Dr. King was assassinated, I was doing a revival in Michigan, and they handed me a note announcing his assassination, so that's very vivid in my mind. The next thing is I have a plethora of keys where they open nothing. I understand your key opens something.
He's gonna be up there in Dr. Wilson's office anytime he wants to. He's got a key right to him.
I like it.
I want to thank all of the commissioners for the work you're doing on a daily basis. I'm sorry my husband cannot be here today to say thank you for himself, but he said, Elaine, get up there, thank them, and make it short.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I would just like to thank you all for recognizing my grandmother, Mamie Love Wallace, on everything that she's done, and just thank you for keeping her memory alive. This makes a year. of her passing, but just to let you know, to know that you all still remember everything that she did. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for coming. You're welcome to stay and enjoy our festivities, or you're welcome to leave. But thank you so much. Mr. Clerk, back in your hands, sir.
Special resolution recognition to Mr. Chris Opp.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Oh, we signed it. Okay. Would you please stand? Okay.
Somebody finally as tall as me. Thanks for coming today, Chris. Resolution of recognition to Mr. Chris Opp. Whereas it is the desire of Caddo Parish Commission to give appropriate acknowledgement and recognition to individuals who have rendered invaluable service in its behalf to the citizens of Caddo Parish. And whereas Mr. Chris Opp, the artistic shark, has worked to enrich the physical, economic, social, and cultural elements of Caddo Parish, towns and cities are harnessing the power of art to improve their landscapes and build stronger inter-community connections. And whereas Mr. Opp came to Shreveport Bossier in 1999 to provide specialty artwork at the new Hollywood Casino, and in 2006 came back to Shreveport to complete the Hollywood-themed artwork at the El Dorado Casino, while in town, he decided to stay and make Shreveport Bossier his permanent home and headquarter his art business. And whereas Mr. Opp's work provides a look at the community through his colors, style, and messaging that mixes historical events of Shreveport Bossier and Caddo Parish with beauty and other important messages of today. And whereas Mr. Opp has always had the heart for sharing art with people and has consistently proven himself to be a loyal and dedicated individual of this community, citizens, family, and friends are inspired by his artwork and dedication to the community. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission that it hereby extend its heartiest and most sincere congratulations and best wishes to Mr. Chris Opp, and does hereby call upon all citizens of the parish to share in the sense of pride, distinction, and honor that this artwork and service deserves. Attest, Parish of Caddo, President Stormy Cage Watch, the President, and Mario Chavez, the Vice President. Signed this day. Chris Opp, thank you so much. Chris, I wanted to bring you up here just in, you guys
You
probably
may be
see, just
seated.
thank you for the things that you've done for Caddo Parish. A lot of the artwork that you guys see around town is all because of this man, and the more I drive around Caddo Parish, the more that I see Chris just speckled all over the community, from the aquarium to the Welcome to Bossier signs to the artwork at all the buildings and all the beauty that you've done. You lived in California and you didn't have to move here, and everyone always thinks, you know, I'm from California. They say, why would you ever move to Shreveport, Louisiana? Well, I can say another citizen that you did it too, and it's because of the family and what it means to be a Shreveport person. It means a lot to see other people from other communities moving here and staying here. And not only did you move here, but you speckled Chris Opp, artistic shark, everywhere. And I love what you're doing, and you're making the community one, and what you do with bringing the history together of Caddo Parish and putting it all over for everyone to see. We needed that here, and I thank you for what you do and for making our community better. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Great job.
Can I speak?
Yes, congratulations, Mr. Opp. Yes, you may speak, please.
You know, God gave me a gift. I'm just fortunate to make a living doing what I love. And I left California, moved to Albuquerque in '89. Then I came out here in '99 after I worked on the Don Imus ranch. That's where this hat came from, because I went to the hatter that Don Imus used. I worked with him. Well, let's just say I put up with him for a year and a half. So I came out here. I lived in the Jewelers building, the top studio overlooking the festival grounds. We walked to work every day, the casino, and I go, these people party every weekend. I better find a calendar. They party every weekend. And, you know, going to the different restaurants back then, the Noble Savage was the one downtown we went to. And then after a year, I left, went back to Albuquerque. I came back out to Opelousas. I did the Evangelines down. I lived in Eunice for 6 months, got the experience of Mamu, Cowboy, Mardi Gras, Bow Bridge, Lafayette Live, and I go, man, this is pretty nice. And then I came out. El Dorado was one of my clients out of Reno and brought me out, and I rebranded them. And then after 6 months, I left, went to Biloxi for a year and a half after Katrina, because I worked in the Boulevard, the Hard Rock, Emerald's Restaurant, the CB Base in Gulfport. Then I came back and stayed. And the reason why I stayed was because the food, the people, and the art I do. I'm top dog. For years I told everybody I'm the shark. And then when I was coming back from Washington, Texas, I changed that whole town there. God said, you're the artistic shark now, so I changed my name this last year. As of today, I've done over 70 public art projects just in Shreveport. I've done 69 public art projects just in Bossier City. On Highway 80 from Minden to Washington, Texas, I've done 13 public art projects, and that's just to date. And so far right now, East Bank District, I've done 13 public art projects. Wow. So you see me all over. You probably passed by me when I was painting Dick Ryder's gold building down the road. Yeah. And then I put up Mr. Natural, and people said, who is that? And most of them were young people because they don't know Grateful Dead and keep on trucking. So I stay here because I love what I do. I've done 21 schools to date. I like to pass the baton on to the next generation, but mine's the brush. I let them know my spiel is God gave me a gift. I'm just fortunate to make a living doing what I love. And you know, when I go to work every day, it's not work, it's fun. And people pay me to have fun. Wouldn't that be nice for you? I need arithmetic, I need English, I need history. So stay in school, get all your subjects, because I tell them when I did the Viking Airline school, I grid things out. And then from there, I went to Green Oaks for Marvin Alexander, and then I passed by the Welcome to Bossier City signs, and I go, that doesn't draw me at all to the city. So just by chance, I met with Mr. Walker, and I changed all the Welcome to Bossier City signs. And now to date, I've approached the mayor. I've designed, I have a full model of Welcome to Shreveport sign, hopefully for the 49-220 interchange, because I'm working in Texarkana right now, and I come into the city off of 49, there's nothing that draws you here. You know, color's everything, you know, and if the color bothers you, you just paint another darn color. So I thank you for this award. It's nice to be acknowledged, but you know what? I'm acknowledged by him up there every day. So in God we trust. Right now I'm painting a painting for George W. Bush and Laura Bush about their daddy, and my goal this year is I did a mural in Washington, Texas, the Great American Mural. My goal is to see Mr. Trump say thank you and hand him the Great American Mural cap, and he'll hand me Make America Great this year. Right. So that's my goal, to get to DC and shake his hand and tell him he's doing a good job. So thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great job.
Okay, next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we adopt the regular session minutes for March 21st.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Lynn Carthorne. Please vote. That passes 11 with 1 out of the chamber. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Communiques and committee reports, administration response to information requests.
Okay. See Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson on the board.
Thank you, Madam President. Today we had the Animal Services Committee meeting. In that, Director Clark gave a excellent presentation on 2008 year in review. He also gave us some initiatives that he had in 2018 with Pet Point, team building, and he also has a QC personnel that goes behind and makes sure and checks and balances. He talked about some of his initiatives for the future. One thing that did come out of the meeting is that they will start doing a customer service forum. So I think the meeting we had today was very productive. It gave citizens that wanted to be there an opportunity to hear what's actually going on and give them true data that will suffice for the truth and what he's actually doing there and not just hearsay. Thank you, ma'am.
That's it?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Mike Middleton.
Thank you. I just want to acknowledge the presence of somebody in our audience today, Mr. John Barr, representing U.S. Senator John Kennedy. He's sitting in the back there. So if you have any business you need to take up with Senator John Kennedy, then Mr. John Barr back there is the one. And Commissioner Watts got to meet him the other day.
I sure did.
I think everyone needs to know who he is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you
for being here, Mr. Barr.
Thank you for acknowledging him. Is that it, Commissioner
That's
Middleton?
it. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Doug Dominic.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably steal some of your thunder, but this is my district. President Stormy Gage Watts and I both got an email the other day and just wanted to, it was from Stacy, who is our naturalist, is that right, at the parks?
Yes.
And anyway, she was inviting us and just wanted to remind everybody, this Saturday at Walter B. Jacobs Park, y'all remember she was here about a month or so ago.
Right.
One of the big events they have is the fairy houses and gnomes, and it's going to be from 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. So the public is invited. It's a very, very big event with a lot of people do attend that, and be a great opportunity for us commissioners if y'all want to go do something on Saturday, or anybody in the public to go out and see what Walter B. Jacobs Park is like, and experience that unique ability of the individuals dressed up, the costumes and things of that nature. So please, if anybody has a chance, go out there this weekend.
Thank you, Commissioner Dominic.
You're welcome.
I see no other commissioners. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Okay, I have one more item to remind everybody of the intergovernmental meeting tomorrow at 11:30. So I guess I'm stealing your thunder. Okay.
That's okay. Y'all keep stealing it. We got to get out of here. Doing well. Thank you.
President's report.
Thank you, sir. Since two of my thunders have already been stolen, there's no need for me to repeat those. So thank you both for those reminders of those events that are upcoming. I just want to make sure that everyone here understands that we are hosting the event on tomorrow, and make sure that you do everything you can to be in attendance so that we can discuss the initiatives that are important and imperative to advancing our community through Caddo Parish. My next thing, I would like to give accolades to Directors Clark and Samuel. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say it.
They always doing great stuff.
I just want to give you some accolades about the event that you had with the rabies vaccination clinic. As Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson has already stated, about the awesome work that you are doing and the growth of the Animal Service Committee for your commitment and dedication to making sure that we are properly educated in the community as well as the animals being cared for. You provided 199 rabies vaccinations at no cost to Caddo Parish residents and their pets at 97 microchips.
Wow.
I heard that there were lines wrapped around the building and that you could not do enough of these throughout Caddo Parish.
Amazing.
I see that the only thing that you had that may need improvement was some bathroom issues, and the next time, let us know, and if we have to, we'll provide some porta potties to make sure that we're taking care of those animals. So thank you so much. You all have just received our legislative priorities for 2019 at your desk. If you get a chance to peruse those things, these are some of the issues that we will be taking before our legislators that are our priorities for 2019 from Caddo Parish Commission. On last Saturday, I had the opportunity to attend the Girl Scouts grant funding ceremony. They sent their gratitude to each commissioner for making an investment in their girls. The thank you notes were absolutely amazing. These little girls are so smart and their energy is contagious. But it is helping them to build character, courage, and confidence. So I wanted to make sure that you all know what those robotics are doing for that troop. As Commissioner Mike Middleton has already said, he's already said Mr. Barr was in the back. I met him on Monday as I attended the Jason's Deli re-grand opening ceremony. We were there to offer our congratulations and our support to that local business being back in full effect. I want to remind you, commissioners, that on April 13 is the Empowerment Summit held by the Black Caucus Police Jury Association in Alexandria, Louisiana from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You have one more day to make your registrations. If you have not done so, please do it by tomorrow, April 5th. I want to give a kudos out to Tabitha Taylor and the Odyssey Foundation if she's watching, or if anyone knows about this month is April for Autism Awareness Month. And she had an awesome balloon release. She brought the community out to light it up blue. There were the most people that I've ever seen at any of her events in the past, and it was to raise awareness about the people in the community who are actually living with autism as well as their caregivers. And if you would still like to donate to that organization, you can look them up at odysseyfoundation.la.org. Over the weekend, I was honored as a Women of Worth for the 2019-2020 Women of Massive Belief Conference. And Sisters Inc. won for their domestic violence. We had a table raffle, whoever had the best decorations. My charity was the Sickle Cell Awareness. Of course, you know that I don't believe that you should suffer in silence, and I'm always constantly in the fight for someone that I love. But I just wanted to send a congratulations out to all 12 women who were honored. They were chosen for their exemplary Christian walk, their community engagement, and being mothers to their children and even to their community. So congratulations to each of those women who were honored, which was so deserved. And I also want to say a very special thank you to the Shreveport Mayor's Women's Commission. On last Friday, I was afforded the opportunity to be their keynote speaker for Cora M. Allen's 2019 Women's History Month luncheon. It was a blessing to be able to share with those women the vision that they have for Shreveport, Caddo Parish going forward. It was amazing to see those 8th grade recipients who won for their essay presentations throughout Caddo Parish. So I want to say congratulations to those youth as well for making strides in our community. And that will conclude my report.
All right, next we
Mr.
move
Clerk.
to public hearing on zoning ordinances and cases. Ordinance number 5862 of 2019 in regards to P419, amending the zoning property located on the southwest corner of Lakeshore Drive and Interstate 20.
This is the one,
yeah,
the technical error?
But it was advertised, so we still need to open the public hearing.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so we will have our public hearing on ordinance number 5862 at this time. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5862? Is there anyone here to speak against ordinance number 5862? I see none. I declare this public hearing closed.
Ordinance number 5863 of 2019 in regards to zoning case P719, amending zoning property located approximately 240 feet northwest of Regmore Drive, Caddo Parish, Louisiana, from R17 Single Family Residential District to C1 Neighborhood Commercial District.
Okay. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5863? Is there anyone here to speak against ordinance number 5863? I declare this public hearing closed.
That takes care of zoning ordinance and public hearings. We move to public hearing on regular ordinances. Ordinance number 5864 of 2019 to close and abandon a portion of road dedication and a portion of an alley dedication in the village of Rodessa.
Okay. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5864?
Excuse me.
Is there anyone here to speak against ordinance number 5864? I see none. I declare this public hearing closed.
That closes public hearings. We move to zoning ordinance for final passage. Ordinance number 5862 of 2019 in regards to case P419. This just needs to be removed from the agenda.
I move to remove by the chair. Second by Commissioner Mario Chavez, Vice President. Please vote.
What's it?
We're removing it. Let me explain why we're removing this item. It had I-20 at Lakeshore Drive instead of I-220. And I noticed it in the writing, so I didn't want to pass it and they would have some issues down the road identifying their property. So we're going to remove it and reintroduce it with the correct language.
And the original description within the body was also incorrect, so it'll be, we've got another introduction for this correct way coming up.
Thank you. Please vote. And that passes 11-0. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5863, 2019, in regards to zoning case P719.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson and second by Commissioner Doug Dominic. I see no discussion. Please vote. And that passes 11-0.
Let's move to ordinances for final passage. Ordinance number 5845, amend the budget investment revenues and expenditures for the general fund in the amount of $20,000 to provide an appropriation for crime prevention and citizen participation.
Move to adopt.
Second. Okay, you got it. It's been moved by Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson and it's been seconded by Commissioner Parliamentarian Gerald Bowman. Would you like to speak, Commissioner Johnson?
No.
Okay. I see no discussion. Please vote. And that passes 10-2. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5858, an ordinance amending the budget investment revenues and expenditures.
I move to remove.
Second.
Okay, I see no discussion. Please vote.
This is what, to
remove it?
Yes.
remove it. So yes would be the, okay. You're going to vote yes, right? I'll vote yes.
Yes, I'm
Make
removing
sure,
yes, I'm removing it.
Mike wants a haircut.
Wish I had hair to cut.
Maybe it'll be reintroduced at another time, and that passes 11-1. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5864, 2019, close and abandon a portion of road dedication and a portion of an alley dedication in the village of Rodessa.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Doug Dominic, and it was seconded by Commissioner Mike Middleton. I see no discussion. Please vote. And that passes 12-0. Mr. Clerk.
Next, we move to zoning ordinances for introduction by title. Zoning case P.
Okay, I'm sorry, Attorney Frazier, I didn't see you on the board.
Madam President, if I could get a motion from the prevailing side on the zoning ordinance that was passed, there needs to be an amendment to change uniform development code to unified development code.
Who
I
opposed it?
apologize, I missed it. I don't think anybody did, so anybody
I'll make
On
the
the
motion.
prevailing side, okay.
I'll make
It
a
was
motion to
moved-
revisit.
Okay.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner John Atkins and second by Vice President Mario Chavez to revisit. Item, what's the number?
I believe it was 5863 that was passed.
Okay. And include the words.
And just where it says uniform development code, make that unified development code.
Okay, got that, Ms. Clerk?
Okay, that's in the body of,
It's in the body and the title, if I'm not mistaken.
it's not in the title. No.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it is in the title, but it's not in the title here. So it'll be fixed, yes.
Okay. I see no discussion, so we're gonna vote first to add it back, correct?
To reconsider.
Are we voting to revisit? Is that
Yes,
To reconsider.
To reconsider the item. My machine is still. Are we working or we shut down?
We're waiting.
Okay, there it is. It's stuck. Okay, and that passes. Now we need to vote to approve as amended.
As amended, correct.
Okay.
Do we need a motion on that or anything?
Yes.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by the chair, and it's been seconded by Commissioner Doug Dominic to approve as amended. Please vote. Okay, and that passes 12-0.
Now we'll move back to zoning ordinances for introduction by title.
Okay.
Zoning case P419 in regards to ordinance number 5865, amending zoning property located in the southwest corner of Lakeshore Drive and Interstate 220, Caddo Parish, Louisiana, from RA Rural Agriculture District to R17 Single Family Residential District. Next, we move to ordinances for introduction by title. Ordinance number 5866, 2019, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the Riverboat Fund and the amount of $15,000 to provide an appropriation for the Norwella Council Boy Scouts of America. Ordinance number 5867, amending the budget of the estimate revenues and expenditures for the Riverboat Fund in the amount of $20,000 to provide an appropriation for the Stuffed Shrimp Festival. Next, we need to ratify the minutes from April 1st.
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved. Was that Commissioner Mike Middleton, second by Commissioner Lynn Carthorne? Please vote. Okay, and that passes 12-0. Next item,
Next,
Mr.
we move to
Clerk.
resolutions. Resolution 19 of 2019, authorizing the parish administrator to request administrative consultants' proposal for services.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Doug Dominic, second by Commissioner Stephen
Madam
Jackson.
President, I move to englobo and adopt resolutions number 19, number 20, 22, and number 23, and number 24,
Okay,
as well as the appointments under confirmations and appointments. All
Second.
appointments.
I'll
Thank
second that motion. So it's every one but
22.
number
you. Everyone except number
23.
23.
23.
Everything
21.
except 21.
Except
We'll go-
21?
We'll come back to that one in just a minute.
Oh, somebody got her burn on 21? That's what's wrong.
Okay. Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson?
That's what I was gonna do, but I was gonna also include 21, but we can go that route.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay, I see no other discussion. Please vote. Okay, and that passes 12-0. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
That brings us back to resolution 21 of 2019.
Move to adopt resolution number 21, 2019.
Second.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved by Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson and second by the chair. I see no discussion. Commissioner Johnson, would you like to speak on your motion?
No, self-explanatory.
Okay. Commissioner Stephen Jackson.
Yeah, I just want to just note that my no vote will be simply because the streamlined sales tax collection is so that we can be able to do the internet collection. So that's why the state is trying to go to a streamlined tax collection to be able to collect from the online. The federal legislation requires and mandates that states adopt a streamlined single tax collection process. So it's not necessarily opposed. I just agree with the route that they have to go, the process that they have to go through, but it's not a big issue for me at all.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I see no further discussion. Please vote. And that passes 11-1. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to point out that it was brought to my attention on the appointment of Mr. Alfred Barrow.
Yes.
It's actually Mr. Allred Barrow.
All red without the F.
A-L-L.
That's all.
Oh, all red, okay, all red, okay. We had two Alfreds and two on there. Okay, it's actually Miss Catherine Allred.
Okay,
Okay.
and Mr. Alfred Barrow is correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
All right, next we move to communiques and committee reports.
See none?
So move for adjournment.
We have no late citizen
Very
comments.
good.
All right. Meeting adjourned.
Hey, Clay, can you send a PDF
I
on
can't
this?
believe it.
Been here for a while.
I did too. You forgot home.